postmodernism. I'd like for you, if you want to do a little something that will help you really comprehend this, draw you 4 little squares, one on top of the other. Stack them up there. And on the bottom square, label it postmodernism. I've been talking about this forever. It's hard to communicate this to a big audience, but I'll try. Postmodernism represented a change in the way that we view truth. Rather than looking at truth as absolute, postmodernism teaches that all moral and spiritual truth is relative truth. It's not absolute. It doesn't apply in every situation to every person across cultures. That truth is personal. I can have my truth and you can have your truth. Even though they're conflicting and contradictory, we're both right, which makes no sense to a logical thinking person. That's what postmodernism teaches. Label the second brick up. Starting at the bottom, postmodernism, the next one is multiculturalism. Multiculturalism is being taught in every secular university in our state and probably in our nation. It is the undergirding philosophy of all of the humanities today in America is being taught in institutions of higher learning. What is multiculturalism? It teaches that all cultures, all lifestyles, all religions, all beliefs are equally valid. Equally valid. And who is to say, without being a judgmental tyrant, who is to say that one lifestyle is better than another lifestyle? Who is to say that one religion is better than another religion? And if you do, you're guilty of the ultimate sin in America, which is you're being judgmental. And so we're checkmated as Christians. We can't even make a choice without being labeled a bigot of some kind. And that leads us to the third brick going up the stack. Postmodernism produced for us multiculturalism. Multiculturalism has produced tolerance. But it's not tolerance as I learned it. In the New World Dictionary, the second edition, tolerance is to recognize and respect other people's beliefs and practices without sharing them. To bear or put up with someone or something that you don't necessarily like, but you treat them with respect and kindness, though you disagree with them. But tolerance redefined today, the new tolerance, doesn't mean that I put up with something I don't agree with. It requires acceptance of all ideas and behavior as equally true and acceptable. To suggest that one idea or one lifestyle or one culture is superior to another is to be labeled intolerant, a hater, or a bigot. Again, that checkmates us. It intimidates us. We don't want to be any of those things, and yet that's what the new tolerance teaches. This is why your children turn against their Christian and moral beliefs when they go to many colleges. They are put into a position where if they don't agree, they are labeled in a most unflattering way. And there's a tremendous pressure upon them, unbelievable pressure. So with the new tolerance, Hinduism, Islam, and Christianity are equally valid belief systems. Don't dare claim that Christianity is better than another religion. Heterosexuality and homosexuality are equally valid expressions of human sexuality. Don't say that it's better to be a heterosexual or a homosexual. They're equal. Or you're intolerant if you don't believe that. Under this new tolerance, the choice to abort an unborn child or to carry the baby to term are equally valid moral choices. Don't you dare condemn anybody for having an abortion, we hear. Equally valid choices. Under the new tolerance, cohabitation, heterosexual, or homosexual marriage are all equally valid options for marriage. Just pick the one you want. They're all the same. Who's to say? Multiculturalism. Don't condemn somebody else's belief system. The advocates of the new culture reject the idea that moral and spiritual principles are absolute, that they apply to all people. Everybody has their freedom to choose whatever they want, and don't you dare criticize it. So I would say abortion is wrong. But if you sent me back to college, I would say, well, abortion is wrong for me. I would say that homosexuality is a sin. But put me through a college program right now, and I would say homosexuality is not my choice. It would be wrong for me, but not for you. I believe that the Bible teaches that Jesus Christ is the only way to heaven. The New Tolerance would say Jesus Christ is the way to heaven for Christians. You see the difference? Morality is made to be relative in every case. The New Tolerance, by the way, doesn't differentiate between people and their beliefs or their behaviors. The Bible says we're to love people, but we're to hate sin. But we have been checkmated. We think we can't love people and hate sin. And so we love people and we love sin. We are the good Lord, good devil generation today in America. Everything's okay. The New Tolerance says if you can't accept my belief or my behavior, then you are intolerant. You're a hater. Or worse, you're a bigot. If I work for a big national corporation and I offend in this, they'll send me away to diversity camp. And they'll indoctrinate me and try to brainwash me to come around to accept the New Tolerance. Now you think I'm laughing. No, I'm very serious. We have diversity training going on all over America, and basically what is it? It's you accept every lifestyle, every belief system, every culture, or we will change your thinking. Is that not scary? Is that not scary? Some of you have been through that. G.K. Chesterton, the great philosopher, said, and I like this, tolerance is the virtue for the man with no convictions. Tolerance is the virtue for the man with no convictions. There's one other brick on that stack. Put political correctness. Political correctness says it's judgmental to say anything that would be offensive to another culture, religion, race, lifestyle, anything, even if it's true. So we're silenced again. We're checkmated. Can't say, so we don't have any Pollock jokes anymore because that would be horribly politically incorrect. We can't do anything anymore. We can't open our mouth anymore because of postmodernism, a philosophy that's robbing us of our liberty, our right to say what we believe, to speak the truth. In fact, the Bible says we Christians are to speak the truth with love. Political correctness says, oh no, you are not to speak the truth, period. Be silenced. This is why we don't get the truth in the news. This is why we don't get the truth in education. This is why we don't get the truth in media or entertainment. It's always slanted. The best illustration of political correctness is Major Nidal Hasan, who walked into the orderly room at Fort Hood, Texas, a major, a psychiatrist, a doctor, pulled out his 9mm, started shooting, and when the mayhem had ended, he had killed 13 people and attempted to kill 32 more. He is a hardcore jihadist. All of his internet posts say so. And the government of our country has yet to say he's a terrorist. They refer to it as workplace violence. That's political correctness on steroids. Workplace violence? Sure, it was workplace violence. But what else was involved? He'd been threatening to do this for months on end. And he simply carried out what he said he was going to do. No wonder that Philippians 2:15 has become such an important verse in these last 2 or 3 weeks, where Paul says that we are to be lights in a crooked and perverse nation. How better to describe the current climate in America? Crooked, perverse. And yet, we are not to be morally neutral. We are to reflect the light of the glory of God.